So guys, welcome back. Now, this week can only be described as a historical one, and anybody who hasn't heard yet must have been hiding under a rock. Just in case, here's what happened. This week, we had Microsoft come out with their big fat wallet and slap $68.5 billion down to acquire Activision and Activision Blizzard. Now, with that, you know they're going to be taking all the studios that come with Activision all in one. Now, it's a hell of a lot of money. And it's quite weird because only recently we had heard that Activision were looking into acquiring Zynga, the mobile giant, to try and kind of promote their mobile gaming Call of Duty. And Activision had reportedly again been looking into buy like PC Gamer, the news outlet, kind of more to try and change the opinion of Activision Blizzard with all the recent lawsuits and everything. Now, again, like I said, it was a $68.5 billion deal, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Now, as you can imagine, obviously Twitter went on a complete meltdown, people freaking out that COD would be taken away from PlayStation. But here's the point, why spend that amount of money if you're going to cut away the majority of your player base? It's not financially the right thing to do. So obviously a lot of people are going, oh yeah, but it's going to be things like, timed exclusive and that. The way it used to be was Microsoft had it, then PlayStation had it, then Microsoft bought Activision, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen. So, but one thing, do you know what I mean, a lot of people did say, because Bobby Kotick was on the news all day and he was, talking about the deal, and people were going mental. How can he show his face? Everybody hates him. Let me point something out to you people who are not really quite up to date with this. Big Bobby Kotick, right, got $158 million last year in compensation for things he done for Activision. That man really doesn't care what anybody else thinks of him. He could literally sit in his Lamborghini and wipe his tears away with a $1,000 bill and throw it out the window and not miss it. A lot of people are cheering that supposedly he will potentially step down when this acquisition finalises. And again, here's something to think about. People are like, yeah, he's stepping down, woo. He is going to make $390 million for this deal alone. 158 last year, 390 next year. Really, guys, this guy ain't crying. This guy isn't worried about that we don't want him here anymore. He's like, well, he's just sitting there counting the money. Do you know what I mean? He's literally just going bum, bum, bum. There we are. His wife walks in. We need a new telly. We don't need a new telly. Let's buy a new TV department. Do you know what I mean? Now, with that said and done, guys, we do know, right, that Activision itself, Bobby Kotick being in charge, they have killed a few titles in their time. Titles such as the beloved Tony Hawk's and Guitar Hero. And in all fairness, if COD had kept going the way it was going to be completely dead. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, it is dead. There's still a player base at the moment. It can be saved. That's the thing we want to talk about. Will this deal with Microsoft, will this make it happen? Do you know what I mean? Will Call of Duty be Call of Duty again? Will it be saved? Now, this deal obviously won't get through until the 1st of June next year. And until then, right, we're going to have to sit and wait for Modern Warfare 2 this year, which is reportedly, being released early due to the poor sales of Vanguard. But obviously, are we going to see a couple of things happening? And we'll come back to that later on. Next year is reported to be the Treyarch's next title on our Black Ops, right? But this will be the first title that Microsoft actually takes over on. If this is the case, and Microsoft are in charge of this going forward, are they going to change it? Are they going to delay it maybe and go, right, listen guys, we're going to give you another year to work on this. You do what you can, the best you can, crack on with it. The problem is, when Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard, they bought all the wee companies they have with them. Right, so you've also got Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Games with Bob, I think it's one of them, I can't remember the rest of them. So they bought all of these. Now we're going to have all these companies still working on making the Call of Duty, because the old saying is, too many chefs spoil the broth. And in this context, we've already seen the proof is in the pudding. It's, there's a lot of people working on the same project and they make a lot of mistakes, and then the Vanguard gets released. The other thing as well, with this acquisition that Microsoft stepped in and bought Activision, it is reported that Sony lost $20 billion in their stocks. That's a hell of a lot of cash. Do you know what I mean? That cash makes a lot of people cry. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people out there smiling, as there was someone who amazingly bought $1.5 million worth of shares in Activision last week, and all of a sudden now, with the news that came out on Tuesday, now they're going to be making, well, multi-millions, I suppose. Probably worth more money than Bobby Kotick, which is amazing. But like I said, with the release of the Modern Warfare 2 this year, Are we going to see any changes? Are we going to see skill-based matchmaking getting pulled back a wee bit, toned down? Are we going to see kind of better gameplay, better graphics? Are we going to see things like the store offering more than what it has done so far? Are we going to see the studios that come with Activision, are they going to be working on new IPs, or are they going to come up with their own IPs and try and pitch them to Microsoft? Unfortunately, at this point in time, I'm not 100% sure, but stay tuned and we'll see what we can come up with. Now, we'll obviously see COD as a 3-year development cycle, and this is with Infinity Ward's game this year. It has had its 3-year cycle. So, is there changes in this? Is it to make it better? Are they going to be better in the last 3 years? Now, we know obviously their integration for Warzone and Modern Warfare works well, because that's when it was released. It was released with Modern Warfare 2019, and it worked really well. There was a couple of problems. They were hashed out very quickly, and it all worked well. Obviously, moving on to the next story. Joining today on Game Pass is Rainbow Six Extraction, the newest release by Ubisoft. And to be honest, you guys, I've had a little bash of it, and it does seem quite a good game, do you know what I mean? The core mechanics are there, there is a couple of, in some aspects it's clunky, but again, I'm not a Rainbow Six Siege player, so it's going to take a wee bit of getting used to. Also dropping on Game Pass is the Hitman Trilogy. Now, for the Hitman fans out there, this is a serious win for Xbox and Game Pass, because I personally love Hitman, fantastic franchise, fantastic game. So this is definitely a win-win. And obviously with this, we are seeing things like, we've seen the good graphics at Hitman 3. There was a lot of raving reviews on it. And basically this game, it landing on Game Pass. Okay, it was been out for a year, but landing today in Game Pass, I'm looking forward to get my fingers on it, put it that way. Now, obviously drop your comments below, because obviously we have Xbox, Microsoft Game Pass, and then we have Project Spartacus, the PlayStation hidden secret thing, which we're assuming is going to be something similar. Now, leave us a comment, obviously, to tell us what you think that's going to be. You think the Game Pass is good? You think a Game Pass for PlayStation is going to be good? Do you think Sony are really going to let that amount of money escape them every release, or are they hoping that this is going to pull in more money? In other gaming news, DICE dropped a patch yesterday for Battlefield 2042, and some of the fixes are basic. They're trying to tweak wee things here and there, and hopefully, just hopefully, it will work. Now, you will see in the background this has Battlefield gameplay. I don't do too well in it, guys. I don't do too bad in it, but it's a standard game for me. Do you know what I mean? This is basically how I play. Obviously, they have also released information on the new scoreboard that will be coming out middle of next month, near the end of next month. A scoreboard that should have been there from day one. If you've seen it on Twitter and you've seen that, the way they're laying out the actual scoreboard, I just think it's very clunky. It's not simple, and that's what we loved about the Battlefield scoreboard. It was simple, it was there, you could see it. Now it's just not, right? But again, if they go back to basics and really start the game for basics, they could have a winner. Guys, as always, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, or you just want to show some love to the Scotsman, then hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.